Dear Dairy, so this is kind of a 2-for-1 thing because I didn't post one yesterday. Now, why didn't I post one yesterday? Well, now, in my defense, I did say that I might not do that. Now, I kind of said that if I got a little too drunk, that I might not do, but I didn't get drunk. I didn't get drunk at all. I had 2 pints of beer over the course of 3 hours, and that is nowhere near enough to get me drunk. So I got to work and I called this. Oh my God, I called this. I got to work yesterday, went over to the cafeteria, told the guys, yeah, this is my last day, my last time getting breakfast here, blah, 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 but I'll see you guys at lunch. I head up to my desk, I get up there, and I'm locked out of my computer. They shut down my work account so I couldn't access any of the machines or anything like that. I was like, I knew it! I knew it! So I couldn't access my work email. I couldn't access the communicator. I couldn't access anything. My test machine still worked. So, but I mean, even if I found any bugs, I couldn't tell anybody about them because I couldn't access the email or the communicator or anything else. I couldn't enter any bugs because I can't access the database because it uses the same account, blah, 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 all this crap. Anyway, so basically I spent most of the day yesterday watching YouTube videos and falling asleep at my desk because I had virtually nothing to do. And some of you might ask, well, why the hell didn't you just go home? I mean, if it was your last day and all this, because I had to do my exit interview, which was at 3 p.m. So I had to sit around and wait until 3 p.m. After that was done, I went ahead and went home. So lots and lots of YouTube videos and falling asleep. So I was heading out, and before I left, for those of you that watch Jesse Cox and on YouTube and the Polaris channel, and the old game station, who are familiar with anybody from that, Jesse wanted to do kind of a celebration streamathon thing because it was the 20th anniversary of The Secret of Mana. So they had the game on Wii, and he had a bunch of people over at his apartment, and they were streaming live on Twitch the whole time that they were, playing the game from beginning to end, the whole game. And so I was watching that a lot while I was there at the office, and then I left and came back home and took a shower, got ready to go, and then went over to the Tide House. And if you've never been to the Tide House, that's T-I-E-D, Tide House, like Tide a Nut. If you've never been to the Tide House Brewery in Mountain View, California, definitely go there. It's really, really good food. Everything's great. The beers that they have, if you're kind of a lightweight, get the sampler, because it's like 8 little glasses of beer. They're like quarter pint, kind of whatever a quarter of a pint would be, and I feel like I should know that right off the top of my head. But anyway, so it's just all samplers, and basically drinking all of them is like drinking 2 beers, But you get to sample all of their beers, and they're really, really good beers. I especially like the oatmeal stout's very good, and the Ironwood Dark is very good. I also like the Cascade Amber, which I like them all. Okay, they're tasty. Anyway, it's good beer. It's a good burger too. I think I got the oatmeal stout double burger, which was yummy. So we finished that and headed home. I got home and decided, you know what, I'm tired. I'm not going to do a video, which I didn't, obviously, because otherwise I wouldn't be saying all this right now. And then kind of sat around for a while and then went to sleep. So this morning, I woke up around 4 this morning, and I just got up and went and did my my little trip to the bathroom. This is where Tyler, the guy that I work with, who I discovered is occasionally watching these videos because I made mention of being careful about having, telling people that I like double whiskey sours with no ice, and that they would have 8 of them lined up by the time he mentioned that when I got to work yesterday. So I know he watched at least, Fridays or Thursday nights, whatever. But no, there were no double whiskey sours, or all I had was the 2 beers. So anyway, now I've forgotten where I was going with it. Oh, right. So I get up, like 4 in the morning to go to the restroom. This is where the two halves of the story link in. This is where Tyler would say, "Hi, you're old." So, got up, then I went back to sleep, and I woke up around 7, and I sat up, and I was like, "Oh, I got it. Oh, no, wait, I don't." So I laid back down, and then I woke up at 9, and I got up for a bit, and I was watching Jesse and crew continue playing the thing, because they were still going. They were a hell of a lot farther along than they were when I had gone to sleep, like almost 10 hours before. But, so I watched them until they basically finished around, at 10:30, 11 o'clock or so. And then Jesse switched off the stream and was like, "I'm going to go back to bed." So I went back and laid down on the couch and I went to sleep. But this time when I put my phone on a charger, I didn't, normally what I do is I turn it around to face towards the couch where I sleep. And I forgot to do that. So when I woke up, I had no idea what time it was. And because I couldn't see a clock, because there's no clock on that side of the monitors. So I go over there, or I got up and I came over to this side. It was like 1:30. I'm like, maybe I should get out of bed now, because this is the whole waking up at the crack of noon thing. Really not my style. I mean, sleeping in is nice and all, but I feel like I lose most of the day. Anyway, so got up, watched my last 2 episodes of Law and Order, which were the last one for Criminal Intent, which was To the Boy in the Blue Knit Cap, which was pretty good. It was a good one. Good way to round out the series, kind of wrap up most of the loose ends and everything, and to leave just enough of it, hanging in the breeze to be like, wait, but are they whatever. And then of course Special Victims Unit. Finished watching the last one of that. And when I finished watching that one, I was actually, tearing up and everything. I was like, oh my God, that was really good. Oh wow. Because, I mean, there was enough stuff going right then at the end of that thing that I was like, oh my God. If this was a season finale and not a series finale, I would fully expect that when they started the next season, that Detective Stable was going to have some issues to work through. Holy crap. Because I was like, I could easily see him just saying, okay, here's my shield, here's my piece, bye, I'm gone. I'm not doing this shit anymore. Wow. I was, oh my God, what's going to happen? So that was a really good ending to that series. And then just random YouTube videos here and there. And then I just finished watching Immortals on Netflix because it was there, kind of like climbing a mountain or something. This was the version that had the guy who was in The Wrestler and who was in Iron Man 2. And oh God, it bothers me that I can't remember his name. And the guy who played Mr. Tumnus, I think it's him anyway. This is John Hurt was in it. Yeah. Wait, was it John Hurt? Might not have been. Wow. Okay. It's right after 11 o'clock. My brain is shutting down. Even though I slept most of the day, 11 o'clock, my brain says, no, I'm not doing this anymore. I'm done. Bye. Malcolm McDowell. No. Shit. I think it was John Hurt. I think. The guy who was in contact with. He was in contact with Matthew McConaughey. He was not the star. And I keep wanting to say Susan Sarandon, but it wasn't there. It was Jodie Foster. Let's move on. So, yeah, watched that. Some pretty impressive visuals in that. It was an odd variant on the story of Theseus. Interesting. Very pretty. Like I said, the visuals were amazing. Uh, I don't know if I'd watch it again. I've been itching to watch Tron 2.0 again, honestly. But let's get back to more important stuff. Now, this was something fairly important that happened yesterday. There is a professional wrestler. Let me back up. I mean, now that you've heard me say that part, you probably know where this is going. But when I was a kid in northern Texas, in the greater Dallas area, professional wrestling was really big. Back then. I mean, it's like early to mid '80s. Professional wrestling is huge. You've got the Von Erichs who live in that area, and then the fabulous Freebirds were operating in and around the area at the time. Really, really, and I was absolutely convinced that it was real. You could not convince me otherwise. I refuse to accept that professional wrestling was not real. Nobody could convince me that. I have since learned, and I don't follow wrestling anymore, but not because I learned that it wasn't real, because aspects of it are real. Like some of those hits that people wind up taking. They hurt. Okay. But there is apparently a professional wrestler yesterday named Darren Young. Is that right? Is it Darren Young? I have to check my notes. I'm pretty sure it's Darren Young. That's what I get for letting my iPod go to sleep. Yes, Darren Young. Like I said, I don't follow professional wrestling at all. I didn't know anything about. I didn't know this guy. I didn't know Darren Young. Had never heard of him before until yesterday. So his brain, his name is still working its way into my brain. So yesterday he came out as the first openly gay professional wrestler in the WWE. Rock on, good on you, sir. Very bold, very brave, amazing, good stuff. Thank you very much for doing that. I saw a YouTube video today in which another professional wrestler named John Cena was interviewed by somebody just kind of on the street. The guy walked up and said, are there any, what's your opinion on openly gay professional wrestlers? And he's like, well, there aren't any. And the interviewer's like, well, Darren Young came out today as openly gay, and John Cena was like, good for him. That's great. That's wonderful. And now, my first problem with this interview, it has nothing to do with John Cena. And if Mr. Cena, if you are ever watching this video, your part in the interview was just jaw-droppingly wonderful. Thank you very much for being the kind of man you are. Brilliant. The problem I had was, for one, the interviewer. I mean, it would have been just as easy for an interviewer to go up and say something like that, even if Darren Young hadn't come out. It's like to announce that Darren Young has come out as openly gay before any of the other professional wrestlers knew about it. I mean, maybe they haven't talked to each other in a couple of days. I don't know. But it just seemed like, ooh, that might not have been the best way to... I mean, I'm not sure that I would have responded if I had been Mr. Cena. I don't think I would have been like... I honestly don't know. I haven't been in that situation, so I don't know. I mean, one part of me would be like, he did? Are you sure? Can I call him real quick and check on that? Because I wouldn't want to say, bravo, good on you. I'm proud of you. Because that's confirmation in a way. And that really makes it sound like there's some level of blame on Cena's part, which there's not. And I don't see it that way, but I can see where somebody would or could twist it that way. Let's get the focus back on the interview itself. So Mr. Cena was just going on about how he's got an older brother who's openly gay, and so he understands how difficult that can be for somebody to be openly gay in a very, machismo-ridden, environment, like I'm sure professional wrestling has got to be. The only other problem I really had with the interview was that the interviewer kept, I don't know if he was doing it consciously, but the way that some of the phrases or the questions were phrased and the way that some of them were presented sounded like he was trying to say, well, what if something happens in the locker room? Do you ever think that anything, it's like you are sowing seeds. Stop that. You are not, I don't think that's what he was trying to do. I don't think he was trying to sow the seeds of doubt or suspicion or anything like that. I don't think he was trying to instigate any kind of worry that something might happen in the future. I think what he was doing was he was trying to lengthen the interview. He was trying to make it, a longer period of time so that he's got more time on camera with Mr. Cena. I think that's what it was. There probably could have been better ways to go about doing that, but I think that's what he was doing. That is my hope, anyway. But to both Darren Young for coming out as a professional, openly gay wrestler. I almost said as a professional gay wrestler. Openly gay professional wrestler. There we go. Thank you. Very courageous. Bravo. Good on you. For Mr. Cena, for being so supportive and proud and very genuine in the interview. Thank you as well. That gives me a lot of hope for, well, everything, honestly. Thanks very much for that. So, what else? Not much. That kind of covers all the stuff that sort of happened yesterday and a little bit today. So we'll cover tomorrow. Well, not cover it because I don't really know what's going to happen, but I know one thing that's going to happen, and it's going to be the first thing in the morning, Sunday morning, of course, Marie Callender's, brunch buffet. Gonna go get my Eggs Benedict, which I think I tweeted the other day that I want to be just rich enough that I can regularly have Eggs Benedict made with hummingbird eggs and like little teeny tiny English muffins. I think that would be fantastic. Not like thousands of them to equal the size of a full Eggs Benedict, thing, but just a little hummingbird egg, on the. I just want to be that rich. I don't want to actually do it. I don't actually want to have, Eggs Benedict made from hummingbird eggs and little tiny English muffins. I just want to be rich enough that I could, if I wanted to. I just wanted to clarify that. If you're going to wish big. So, yeah, breakfast buffet in the morning. Even though they call it a brunch buffet, I don't care. It's a breakfast buffet. They do, however, have bottomless mimosas. Ooh, I know a lot of people who are going to be like, oh, I want to go. So, yeah, I will definitely be there. And after that, I have to figure out what the hell am I going to do with this thing? Doing Dear Dairy has been easy so far because all I had to do was talk about my day when I had a job. But what am I going to do now? I don't know. Oh my God. It's odd though because we just passed the 19-minute mark. And I feel like yesterday and today I had nothing to do. Yesterday I sat around the office watching YouTube videos doing pretty much nothing while I waited for them to, walk me out. And today I slept most of the day. So it's like, why is it that with 2 days where I didn't do anything, do I have, 19 and a half minutes worth of stuff to talk about? I don't understand it. I don't understand. And granted, I know that the Darren Young portion of this video took up a goodly portion of time. But yeah, that is a really cool thing. Really cool. So yeah, I'm gonna shut this thing down, and I'm gonna then shut myself down at some point and sleep for a little while, and then get up and go over to Marie Callender's and have my all-you-can-eat breakfast buffet. It's gonna be so good. And then the panic starts. Oh my God, what do I do? So until I talk to you guys next, which will probably be tomorrow, Yeah, be careless. Sorry, I had to get a bit of water before I started. I didn't want to that all raspy, dry throat and everything. Where was I? Right.